evening, all. Welcome back to another episode of Koi Wholesale Live Auction. My name's Joe Mitchell, here again with Chris Wall. How you doing, Chris?
Evening, everyone. Yeah, not too bad, mate. Less about football tonight, I think.
Agreed. We'll just keep our tail well between our legs tonight, eh?
Yeah. I'm just sort of glad I didn't get too carried away with the cockiness.
No, definitely not. But
No,
yeah,
I've got Luton though, so don't worry about
well, probably passing Leeds United on the way up, as you
that. I
said
think
last
so.
week, to be fair. So yeah, I'll keep my tail between my legs as well. So yeah, how are you doing? A week before Takano event, busy week this week, isn't it?
They're always nuts, mate. Every week, I just go, Jesus, what are we doing to ourselves? I think people just think we sell a few fish, and it's the scale of the operation and the speed and the transition, and just like obviously that's tomorrow's shipment schedule, which is probably about, I don't even know, probably in the region of 60, 70 individually picked fish, but it's not as if it's one fish per box, it's multiple. So yeah, it's, you can imagine the logistics of it all.
Yeah.
It's just to chuck on top of that, it's getting rather warm in the polytunnels, Joe.
Really, is it?
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to pick you up off the floor yesterday.
I was out cleaning the vats today and putting, disinfecting them as we always do. And I had to just lay down in the vat. I thought I was literally going to pass out. I was just laid there in vat, and I
I
stuck my
was
head
more
back up.
talking about yesterday when we were trying to do photography.
Oh well, that was bad as well. To be fair,
Well, you
people
have to
might
get
think
you
I'm
a
a.
little deck chair.
I know I am actually sunburnt, so yeah. I know, although I do look too red, I'm not that red as it is, but I am definitely red. I've got a ginger complexion, Chris. Let me off.
Fortunately, I've got that Mediterranean skin. I can't even say that with a straight face. Um,
Yeah,
I felt just like used to it now, mate. I
yeah. I
just
think
got
you're
a lot of
immune.
tolerance to it because, if you think this is hot now, wait until it's like 35 degrees outside. It is literally, it's like a competition to see if you could cook a human in there sometimes.
I think I'm going to be poorly that day. To be fair.
There you go. Charlie, Rich Smithers, man up. I agree.
Oh dear. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that. I think. Like I said, ginger complexion. That's my only excuse, and I will wear it out.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
So, how comes you've ended up on a batch of these Dainichi fish again?
Couldn't not.
Yeah.
Literally, like just the quality is obviously the demand. We're just getting messages constantly from the general public saying, how can we get hold of Dainichi Kohaku? When are you doing the next event? The demand for it is massive, and it's quite attainable for people as well. Let's not beat around the bush trying to get fish from this farm is hard work at the best of times. So getting decent fish is even harder, and obviously Rick being the sort of stick your neck on the block kind of guy is really sort of attempted something here that I haven't really seen anyone do at this scale before, and the results are just magic, mate. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
so it's hard. We get a lot of messages saying, "Oh, I'm interested in buying, I don't know, a Sakai or a Dainichi Tosai off of you," and obviously we don't sell direct to the public. And it's sometimes hard to connect all the dots to the end user. For example, you've seen how busy it gets just dealing with the trade accounts. So sort of trying to net individual fish, and then people have a think about it, and then they get back to the dealer, and then the dealer's got to get back to us. To simplify things, I think these types of events, the fish are isolated, they're pictured, they're all coded, easy to sort of put on a spreadsheet, and it just makes everything a little bit easier, in my opinion. So and starting point, I mean, what we got tonight, sort of starting point of 50 odd quid or something on a lot of these.
Yeah, because we like to kind of mix it up and offer some Nisai, Sanzai, even I mean
Yeah,
Yonsai stuff previous, but this has been probably one of the more popular formats that we've had where we've had fish, starting at 50. So I guess I'll just kind of go through the basics for any new people here tonight. Yeah, if you want to bid on any of these fish that you're going to see tonight, you can just place your comment on YouTube or Facebook. It tends to be that Facebook is a little bit quicker at getting through to us with the bids. So if you want to bid, Facebook's probably your best bet. Um, but yeah, just have a look through our participating dealer list. The fish will be subsequently delivered to that dealer so that you can collect it or arrange forward shipping of it. And just have a look again at the T's and C's on the website so you're aware of the additional kind of handling costs involved with the process. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Unless you've got anything else, we'll start with fish number one.
think so, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds. So I'll put us into this. And number one. Yeah, nice fish, that, isn't it? Good one.
Yeah. And look, you got your white dorsal fin as well at the front.
Yeah, that's what I like to see, to be fair. You know me too well now, Chris.
Yeah, so yeah, start what we got. Starting bid there, sort of 50 quid. I mean, they're quite easy to read fish. That's one of the things that I think makes them quite popular. In terms of, have they got good skin? Yes. Is the pigment good? Yes. They are quite young fish, so there's a bit of a hue to the white skin in certain areas. We are seeing this sort of development of the Benny taking place with small fish. But yeah, 3-step sort of style Dainichi Kohaku, 23 cm. Yeah, what's sort of like not to like really? It's one of those, isn't it? You see on the video there, like the skin attributes probably a little bit better than you do in the picture. Sometimes it's hard, isn't it, to demonstrate skin quality sometimes.
Yeah, it is. I guess with I've tend to seen that with a lot of the fish just from looking on what the auctions that we've done in the farm as well is that the refinement of like the keyword on these is just kind of really, it seems to happen at quite a young age with the Dainichi and Sakai stuff, whereas obviously I think the Sashi is a little bit later in life, I guess you're looking
Yeah.
at. It seems to be quite consistent in that respect, but yeah, it's got nice refinement with that keyword for such a young age, and that's actually just tells me that it's got a bit of depth to it as well.
Yeah, it's not too deep, is it? It's
No.
got the thing with depends which way you look at it, isn't it? I mean, if you're looking for that sort of instant fish where if you're looking for that instant fish that you want to stick into the show, then you want to see that refinement throughout the sashi keyword. You want these pattern attributes. But for me, these are sort of fish moving through the gears and through the sizes. That sort of thickness of sashi just gives it that ability to, that to me is something that I look for if I'm sticking weight on fish, because you need that degree of elasticity in the red.
Yeah.
Without, if you're cutting right down to the first sashi line and there's no depth in color, then the moment that Benny if it starts to recede, you're cutting into the pattern, and obviously at that point you lose that refinement as the fish ages. So yeah, super little clean fish. Yeah, bit quirky again as well. Sashi is the leading edge of the scale pattern line. So if we look at the second, I always do this where I point at the screen, but no one can see what I'm pointing at. So if we look at the first pattern on the head, and then the pattern either side of the dorsal, that's probably the easiest way of describing this. If you look at the right hand side, you see there's a faded part of red or Benny on that right hand step of pattern. Yeah, this is what we're talking about when we refer to sashi. Kiwa being the back edge. So yeah, hope that clears things up. Sorry, sometimes we sort of go off with terminology, but if ever you're not sure about anything, please just say.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, go on.
sorry. I was just going to say, yeah, sometimes we can just kind of go off on a tangent talking about different, terminology. Like if you're ever wondering what we're talking about, just feel free to, put it in the comments. Me and Chris are happy to ask questions. I'm learning from Chris all the time. Some of Chris's terminology that he uses around the farm is, yeah, unbelievable. I was asking him about what I thought was a Deutsch Sankey the other day, and I got told off for that. So, yeah,
Well, the
there's.
thing is, sometimes I just make it up for a laugh, mate. So
Yeah, I know. So yeah, Sashi being the leading edge and Kiwa being the back edge of the Benny. And I guess you get it on Sumi as well.
yeah, I mean, probably lesser spoken about. Obviously, where people are sort of looking for that Benny to recede and sort of for the refinement to be revealed on the pattern with when it comes to Sashi. So yeah, obviously tendency that Sumi tends to grow out rather than pull back in. But yeah, that's that leading edge. It's really important characteristic as well when you're growing fish, in my opinion. It can be that you can get fish that don't have that and they sort of retain it, but I like to see it, particularly in younger fish, because I want that degree of almost like a margin of error. As the Benny and the size of the fish flexes, it just gives, in my opinion, a better ability to flex. So I mean, yeah, 3-step Dainichi Kohaku, 75 quid. Yeah, that's pretty nuts at the moment, mate. So yeah, yeah. What's more to say about it? I mean, Shiroji, pretty good for a young fish as well. That was another reason why this piece got selected. Sometimes you can't tick all the boxes. You can't get sort of every attribute that you want. If you did, those fish stay in Japan, for obvious reasons, because they can, yeah, the breeders will be the beneficiary of some pretty big sums of money. So to give those types of fish away is pretty nuts. But having said that, such is the quality, not just quality, quantity as well. That's probably the crazy thing of farms like Sakai, Dainichi, Momotaro, and others, the big farms. They're just churning out good fish constantly. And even the fish that they deem, you got to remember, only so many fish can be kept in their facilities, indoors, outdoors. They can only grow so many fish on. So if breeders like Dainichi, I'm not saying, but for argument's sake, some of the fish on here will be another farm's tatigoi. There'll be fish that they will not let go. But such is the standard at Dainichi that, yeah, you get some real insane fish coming over to the UK. So yeah, so not had too much activity on this one, mate, for a few minutes. So where we sat at the moment, 75.
75, yeah. There were a couple of bidders in.
75. Wow. I'm gonna start bidding on this one, mate. So yeah, we're looking for what are we looking for? Increments of $5. New Forest Koi, Rick, how we doing? Had some yeah, interesting Dainichi genetics coming up in the New Forest lineages moving forward. So yeah, I know the guys are getting really serious and investing some big money with their parent sets at the moment. So yeah, exciting to see what they can produce moving forward.
Ollie in at 85.
So we're looking for 90 to get this one going. Keep this one going, sorry. Yeah, absolute little weapon. I like to see like the quality of the Shiroji in young fish as well. That's almost like a selection process in itself, just the quality of the pigment.
Yeah, I think it looks better on the video, to be fair, with this one. It's got quite a large head for the body shape that it's got. Yeah,
23 so it's no slouch, you know what I mean?
no,
These are still young fish. I mean, probably what? Let me do the maths. Where are we? Sort of May now. So it was only, wow, not too long ago that they were sort of like 12 cm fish.
wow.
So that you know, they're just absolutely flying, and obviously that's the thing that gives me a bit of confidence with these, is that they have dealt with that vast flex in body and still maintained pigment quality and skin quality. Not all fish can do that. So
No.
yeah, for me, again, I say it quite a bit. Just nice attributes in their own right to appreciate, like that Shiroji and that Benny quality.
Yeah, it's a nice little pattern as well. That first dam's quite interesting. Well, it's different, isn't it? The shape of it and that kind of edging on the right hand
Mm.
side of it. It's quite unique, really. It's not. It's a little bit different. Usually, you get quite rounded Benny dams, so it's be quite an interesting fish when it grows up past maybe 40 centimeters.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, that classic saying, they've got to start and finish with white, which I don't necessarily subscribe to, but for the purists out there, again, you know, nice white face, nice
Mhm.
abdomen at the back. So yeah, all in all, yeah, very clean little fish, mate. And what we sat at, 90 quid at the moment. Wow. Yeah.
You always tend to find the first couple of lots on our live auction nights go a bit cheaper because not everyone's tuned in. People still having the tea.
Unbelievable, mate. So I think we'll stick a couple of minutes on this one, Joe, because we've got a few fish to
Yeah,
go through. So uh, I tell you, we should really get like a timer or something on the screen. That would be good.
yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm
I'm not.
sure there's a few snipers in the chat. There always are trying to snipe at last minute.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that I'm the one to figure out how to get a timer on here. By the way, I'm just going to put it out
Yeah,
there. But yeah, we've got 2 minutes left on this one, guys. Marcus, how we doing, Marcus? Got a nice little collection of Tosai, actually, some Sakai bits. So yeah, I think a couple of Akawa bits as well. So yeah, people really sort of buying into the big farms that we're attacking this year. So yeah, and hopefully people are going to be the beneficiary of the fish moving forward as well.
yeah. New Forest back in at 100.
Minute and a half left, guys. I say it all the time, but please don't leave it right to the last minute, because I've got to call what's on the screen when the alarm goes off. That's the fairest way I can do it.
Yeah,
No, it's not ideal, and I know there's a bit of lagging, but that's why I would probably recommend you don't leave it till the last minute. So we've got a minute left, guys. Currently sat at £100. Yeah, what a snip.
yeah. It's another one I'd be interested to see once it's grown on because I think as the body grows out, that first down is going to be it's going to be a bit of a unique point about that fish. I think.
Mm,
How the Benny arches over the spine.
yeah, I think you're not going to get too much for 100 quid from most farms, Kohaku wise. So yeah, to pick up
No.
3cm Tosai from Dainichi. 30 seconds left. Looking at all you snipers out there. 20 seconds left. If you're in, please let us know. 15 seconds. We're going to call what's on the screen, guys. So it looks like New Forest has got this one. 10 seconds left.
Oh.
Paul, I thought you weren't buying anything. 120. Oh, how'd you stop it?
There we go. Paul. Right at the
Paul,
last minute. Well
yeah,
done.
I think that's still a cracking little piece, mate, for 120
Yeah.
quid.
Yeah, what a buy.
Yeah, fair play. Onwards and upwards, mate.
Yeah, sound. So let's move on to fish B. Oh, I'll play the video first, why not? So this is another 3-step. It'd be interesting to see whether or not we get more interest in this just because it's a marathon style.
We all
Yeah,
get moaned at, mate. We all get moaned at.
yeah, there's a lovely head pattern on that, right between the eyes. Benny quality is really good on that as well.
Yeah, a bit
Typical
more of
3-step.
a bit more of a textbook fish, isn't it? I
Mm,
mean, to be honest with you, the only thing that was stopping us pushing this fish on was just to see whether that Benny receded on that final dam, which when with young Kohaku, we're specifically seeing this with this batch of fish. It is pulling back quite quickly. So what sort of looks like a reddy, pinky, huey sort of skin is just juvenile sort of Benny sat, or the Shiroji hasn't sort of pushed through, or the Benny's still receding. So yeah, it might be one that we live to regret, this one, because like I say, it's got that big fish style pattern on. Yeah, nice sort of three-step pattern, which is what everyone's always asking for. I think probably the most popular uh, style of Kohaku pattern, sort of 3 and 4 step Kohaku. So yeah.
Yeah, there was when we were going through the Takano fish the other day. There's a couple of pictures that I've been kind of looking through and referencing them with the new photos that we've taken. And there's a few of them where they have that kind of pinkish hue near the Benny, and not many
People
of
get
them.
off by 'em.
Yeah, people do get
Yeah,
put off by it, but
yeah.
there's quite a lot of them that weren't chosen on the day of the Takano event that Ricky's kept and grown on in the same pond. And yeah, none of them have got it anymore.
It's pulled back. Yeah,
It's pulled back.
there is a degree of risk to it, but it's, from my opinion, with this sort of caliber of fish and the price points, it's worthy, justifiable risk, if you will. Because I think the other characteristics of the fish are just, yeah, pretty cock on, to be honest with you. Nice body line. What we're looking at, 22 cm, so it's by no means like a small fish for its age. Good quality Benny, good quality Shiroji. You see just behind the head, that's what I want to see Shiroji
Mm,
wise. That's what I'm sort of envisaging if things go according to plan, and then you're left with that sort of stripped back, nice proportion size Benny plates as well, which is always a bonus, because as the fish grows bigger, you've got that harmony in the pattern.
mhm.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All in all, just a nicely proportioned fish, mate. So
yeah.
yeah, worthy of anyone's grow on pond, I think, mate.
Yeah, it's one of them that just, yeah, like you've said, it's kind of textbook. There's not a lot to kind of read into this other than to just give it time and grow it out. It's got quite a long head. I'm also looking at kind of the tip of the head to the first ray of the dorsal. It's quite a long area that,
Mm.
you know, I can imagine this being quite a large fish.
You see the
Just,
prominence of the backbone as well.
yeah, you can see it just on the picture, but also let's play the video again. Yeah, it's got a bigger frame than the last fish, I think.
Mm. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, this is you know sometimes a sort of term that is thrown around a little bit when people sort of refer to bone structure, but it is evident even in small fish. When they generate that mass, even at a small size, it's a good sign moving forward. It needs to be proportioned, of course. It's no good having a. You sometimes see these jumbo tosai where they're all at the front and they fall away to the back of the fish,
Mhm.
and they taper quite a lot, which they can get the size, but they lack that body line, that body mass throughout the fish. So yeah, you can see like how these are quite young fish just by looking at the pec fins,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
transparency in the pec fins. So there's with a lot of these fish, they are, yeah, age is going to, providing they go in the right environment, that always has to be stressed. Age is just going to be their friend.
hmm Yeah, that's it. You can never make any guarantees about what size a fish is going to hit, even if it's going to the best environment. And you can never guarantee the quality is going to stay the same if you're feeding it shreddies and Weetabix. But that's there's good suggestion here that this fish is going to be quite a large fish, I guess.
Well,
Um,
just genetics as well. You've only got to see. I mean, we're from the same batch of fish. I measured the other day. we're up to 36 cm, same
Wow.
age. And it's not that this perhaps hasn't got the body characteristics to do it. It's just we've only got one pond, and I think we've only got, I don't know, I'll have to do the maths, about 80 pieces left in there now. That's
Yeah.
how sort of that as the fish get bigger and bigger, that's how sort of we have to reduce the physical numbers in the pond. So another year, these would be the type of fish that we could well be keeping up until sort of 40, 45, 50 cm. It's just this year has been Kohaku and Sankey wise, as you've seen, mate. It's just been absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, there's, we're gonna have some more Takano fish available for this event as well. Sankey, sorry. The Sakai stuff, the Dragon Ball stuff, the Dainichi as well. It's just, yeah. And honestly, the growth rates on these things, like I've not been to the farm for a few weeks, and then I've come in this week to help out a bit in lead up to this event. And the Dainichi stuff is just, and the Takano stuff has just blown me away. Really, I think it's my
It's,
first year of seeing it, so
yeah. I mean, I think when people aren't exposed to it, it is just like, no, that's not possible.
yeah,
Obviously, the infrastructure is built for these fish,
yeah,
and and a lot of the time it's domestic settings wise, people just don't push. They don't, because they got the window or whatever, they don't want to see a load of detritus in the pond, or they want, the water clarity is the overriding factor. Whereas obviously from our perspective, it's, yeah, it's almost like it's our crop. You know what I mean? We need to harvest it and grow it in the best way we can and look after it, and that is not dictated to around water clarity. So yeah.
Well, it is a livestock farm, isn't it? And that was one of the things that I've had to come to terms with when joining the business. Is it is a livestock farm,
Yeah.
and it's not a hobbyist farm.
No.
If it was, you wouldn't make any money running perfectly clear water and whatever, and keeping only 4 or 5 fish in a pond. It's all about growth, isn't it? And quality. But yeah, no, I think this is a stunning little project fish, one I'd be quite interested
Mm,
to grow out myself. This, and it's got
yeah.
a white dorsal, Chris.
Oh, there you go. And well, yeah, but also look how the Benny comes up in the dorsal, but it's in keeping with the pattern.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about that?
That's another one of your line. It's all relative, and
Yeah, it
in
is.
keeping with the pattern of your trademark lines.
But the thing is, I can get excited about a particular aspect about a fish, whereas I think a lot of people will sort of look at a fish and go, if only the classic one is, oh, if only I had that and had another step of Benny.
Mm.
Oh yeah, great, yeah. I wish I had a six pack. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones. So yeah, it's it, it, it's all. There's a reason why this farm just dominates
Mm.
across the board, and that's not to say that every fish is going to be a show winner, because it's not. Um, but you are purchasing sort of genetic potential. In my opinion,
Yeah,
that's one of the big things that you're buying with when you buy the fish, because you can buy pretty patterned Kohaku from Nagata. It's not really a problem. But when you want to achieve a bit of longevity um, and size potential, that's when the conversation changes a little bit. If you're just buying pattern fish, that's fine. But if you want to sort of start investing, I just had a message from one of our customers, cheek of it, saying you missed the six pack and went for the keg instead, buddy. Unbelievable, Brian. I'll remember that on your next order. Uh, so I'm waffling again, ain't I, mate? Where are we at? 1:30.
135.
Let's get a couple of minutes going on it, mate.
Yeah.
So 2 minutes left, 135 quid at the moment. So we're looking for 140 to keep this one alive. You got a toe side pond, Joe?
No, it's something I want to do, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just because I need somewhere to quarantine fish as well, but I want to. One of the projects I want to do is feeding different things and seeing if it makes seeing difference in color food and other stuff, insects as well. And I've spoken about it a long time, but I really want to do insects only pond.
I'm intrigued, and I don't know what the outcome will be. I think for sustainability reasons alone, if it can bridge the gap, then I'm all for it. I reserve judgment though.
yeah. There's some interesting bits in an article upcoming in the magazine, so keep your eye out for that.
We've got a minute left on this, guys. No more koi sort of come in there with £150 bids, so we're looking for 155 to keep this one alive. Again, keep in mind that if you're bidding on YouTube, I've done it again, because you won't know if you're slightly behind.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I keep saying this, because you'll be watching this in the past, but yeah. Or the future. How does that work, Joe? I don't know.
Oh, you're out of my head now, Chris.
Yeah. Right.
This is Inception now.
Yeah. It's a dream within a dream. We've got 25 seconds left, guys. So for anyone that's still involved, I will have to call what's on the screen when the timer goes off. 15 seconds left. We're currently at 150 with no more koi. 10 seconds left. Looking for 155 or a little bit higher. Marcus up to 160. We've got 3 seconds left. Looks like Marcus is going to take his second fish for the evening.
Oh, no, the other one was Paul, so that's Marcus's first fish, that.
Oh, I can't even see the comments, mate, so where are we looking?
160 for Marcus, but yeah, that's his first fish of the evening, that one.
Oh, sorry, I do apologise, I'm getting carried away.
It's all the excitement, Chris.
Oh, yeah, that's me, mate. Yeah.
Well done, Marcus. I think we've got your details and your preferred dealer, but if you want to email Chris just to confirm. And yeah, moving on to fish number 3 of the evening. Yeah, this one's a little bit different, isn't it? And it'll be more, I guess, subject to discussion and depending on what people, what people have interest in fish. But yeah, nice 4-step flowery pattern Kohaku, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, probably not your, in terms of the size of the Benny plates, what the judges are looking for. But nonetheless, I think it's an attractive, flowery sort of Kohaku, mate. Good skin qualities. Again, sort of 21 cm. So growth-wise, it's no slouch. Nice white skin. Again, I think he's got that quirky sort of intricate style pattern. Yeah, again, 50 quid start price, mate. So yeah.
Yeah, not bad. And we've already got a bid in from Aunt Alan at 50 quid. Let's roll the video. Yeah, really nice. It's almost quite elegant, that pattern, really. How it's kind of darted across it goes to the right and then heavy over the left and then back over again, the right again. It's a nice pattern, that.
Yeah, I always say it, but it is true. Obviously, as that fish starts to grow, although you're going to get more white ground, that second Benny plate is going to become more evident as well. So that's going to come into play a bit more, obviously, as that body mass and the fish increases. That sort of second step, if you will, is going to become more, apparent as the body does that. I use that sort of hand gesture quite a bit because with some fish you need to envisage how that pattern's going to move and flex. And again, although it might not be your cup of tea at this size, but it will be potentially your cup of tea when it's sort of 3-4 years old. And if you've not got that sort of vision to keep an eye on it and envisage it, then you might miss out on smaller fish that you'll pay a lot more for when they're older, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think these fish are always harder to get right because you've got almost if it was a single dan of Benny just from the head right to the tail, you've almost just got to have consistency in the color, right? Where you've got, you know, more of an intricate pattern like 4 steps, you've got to have the detailing right. And
Mm.
that last dan is pretty much complete. There's a couple of comments asking if that fourth dan is going to get bigger. Obviously, with Benny doesn't tend to grow. I have seen a couple of instances where it has grown or it's stretched. Is probably the better example, but I've not seen it
That's,
go from
for
like a
me,
pinky colour to
that's a good example of this sort of young juvenile sort of pinky skin.
yeah,
When a lot of them come in, mate, honestly, you would, if you were none the wiser, you would have disassociated yourself with a lot of these Kohaku because they all had a lot of a red tone hue to the skin because they were very young Kohaku. You know, this is just most Kohaku. Well, say most, all Kohaku when they're born are red.
yeah,
This and becomes apparent as it strips back off of the fish. So I remember a breeder saying to me years ago that the white is actually the pattern on Kohaku, which then sort of just blew my mind a little bit, and I was like, I can't deal with that, but okay. So yeah, all young Kohaku, the selection process is pick the red ones, and then the pattern starts to develop as they age. The ones that don't have a lot of Benny on them, as sort of fry, very small fish, are probably the ones with the unstable Benny form.
mm,
So they make for not so good investments when you're growing them.
hmm
End up with Shiro Muji.
yeah, yeah. Which Sakai are doing
Oh,
now.
yeah, which ironically, turns out a pure white fish with all. It turns out a Kohaku with no red on is actually quite an expensive fish. So watch out. We'll be growing a whole pond of them next year, mate.
Yeah, so even the Benny that you can see under the skin, it's not going to come up, is it? Just to
No,
confirm that, Chris. So the Benny
no.
that you see there, it's Colin, the Benny that you'll see there, it's most likely to just that the Shiroji will thicken up and it'll most likely become white as it gets older.
That's
But it's
what we want. Yeah,
yeah, that's what you want, and it's most likely an indication of Benny's strength, right? That's not, it's not something that would necessarily worry me. It's just that's an indication that the red pigment is quite deep in the skin. That
it's the reality of young Kohaku.
yeah,
So yeah, some obviously the risk that you have whenever you're looking at fish, the older they are, particularly with Kohaku, for example, the lower you become less, you're more risk adverse by an older fish. When you're dealing with young koi, there are no guarantees, but yeah, that's not going to pop up. That's for sure. That's just sort
yeah,
of penny underneath the shiroji. So
hmm
we want that to tidy up, and you see on the video probably better actually that glowy white sort of shiroji skin.
hmm
So if you sort of, in my head, the front of the face, again, this can be quite common with young fish. They've got a bit more of a fleshy sort of appearance. But if you change that nose of the fish to this real bright white sort of pigment, just increases that contrast on the head, deep red benny. Yeah, one of those fish really. It's I can see it all happening. Probably not going to win any major awards. Has potential to get a good size, fairly tidy body line. Again, you can see it's a young fish. Just looking at the transparency of the fins.
hmm
And Joe, check it out. It's got a white dorsal fin.
Honestly, I'm not gonna live that one down.
Winner.
There you go, Colin. So
Would
it's
would you award? Would would you if you if you were in charge of the show scene? Would you do a best dorsal fin award?
best dorsal fin, yeah, or pectoral fins, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just
I'm
like you
only
say,
I'm only teasing you, mate.
if it's in certain things don't bug me like with other people. If a
Mm.
fish has one singular red eye, some people that would drive mad. But
Yeah,
like
don't bother me. Yeah.
to quote Chris Wall, If it's in
Rick,
keeping with the pattern,
keep it clean.
if it's in keeping with the pattern, then I'm all for a red eye. To be fair,
I just
but
wouldn't let it put me off. I wouldn't. You know, if the rest of the fish is of a standard that's just like, wow, that's awesome, and people are just focusing on the red eye. That's where I guess it's just being on the industry side of things, because I know the realities of it. The more boxes you tick, the price just goes up and up and up. So
yeah,
sometimes you've got to make a compromise. You know, some
mm,
of those Takano Sankey that we were looking at yesterday, mate, one or two of them have got a red eye, but the qualities for the rest of the fish are superb.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they're priced accordingly.
I just can't wait for Sunday to see people's reactions. To be honest, I think it's going to be magic.
I think I've got yeah, it's going to be intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to be up all night with the kids as well. So yeah.
So yeah, we're at 125 with Aunt Alan on this one. If
Should we
anybody
get
wants
a time
to,
going on this one, Joe? Couple
yeah,
of
let's
minutes.
stick a couple of minutes on. Got quite a few fish to get through tonight.
Yeah, I think the video does that one quite a bit of justice, doesn't it, mate?
I think it does the Shiroji more justice,
Yeah.
and you get more of a realistic, kind of. I guess what your eye picks up on different things in a video than it does from a picture. It's hard to imagine it swimming around, and you get different angles as well from a video.
It's just when the light hits the fish, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got a minute and 20 seconds left. So if anyone is involved, please let us know. We're looking for 130 to keep this one alive. I think everyone in the Koi Wholesale team is due some sort of shave and a haircut. Joe, would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I'm dying for one, to be honest.
Yeah, we all look an absolute disgrace at the moment. So apologies for that, guys.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
50 seconds left. So where are we at? 125 for this.
125 with Aunt Alan.
Trying to picture this type of fish in a dealership, and I'm sort of thinking you're probably not going to pick it up for that sort of price.
Absolutely not. If I saw this swimming around in a dealership and it had from Dainichi, 125 quid is not a bad price.
That'll be straight in my basket, as they say, Joe. So we're 20 seconds left. We're currently at 1:15.
Marcus in at 130.
15 seconds left. 10 seconds left. I'm going to have to call what's on the screen. So if anyone's involved, please let us know. 5 seconds left. Currently with Marcus. Oh. There we go.
Oh, well done.
Bagging little fish.
A nice comment there. Looking forward to seeing us all on Sunday. You too, Alan. Hopefully we won't be all worn out and ground down to bones. But Ricky is working us pretty hard at the minute, and he Chris, he doesn't let off.
Don't know what you're on about, mate.
Moving on to fish 4 of the evening. Well done, Marcus.
Yeah, lovely little fish, mate.
So yeah, this one's a little bit different, isn't it? 2-step, massive head on this one compared to the others.
Yeah, a little bit bigger as well. Yeah, that head length. I must admit, I do like to see big Benny plates, especially when they've got that consistency on Kohaku as well. So we've got sort of like, that Benny plate with that intricacy, and it takes up 50% of the fish. There's no deviation in pigment tone whatsoever, even in a young fish. So for me, I've just got a clear vision of this fish moving forward. Yeah, it's pretty tidy.
Yeah, I like this one. When I saw the picture of this one uploaded on the website, it is kind of one that catches your eye, really. Like you say, you've got to have that image of, the big fish pattern, and this is definitely, as that, maybe you'll see the Shiroji on that right hand side,
Yeah,
Let's play the video and we'll see.
it'll. I think Alan says it quite a lot. You know, it will frame that Benny nicely because you're going to see that Shiroji outline along. If you're looking at the video now on the left hand side, a little bit of a dome at the back of the fish as well,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
yeah, obviously that Benny spot currently looks fairly pointless, doesn't it, at the moment? But obviously, as that gets bigger, it's just gonna, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna, you know, turn it into a worldie or anything, but it's just again another intricacy, isn't it? Nice kiwa to the fish as well, Marizome kiwa. If you're looking at the back edge of that, I'm pointing at the screen again. Uh, the back edge on the right hand side of that first downer pattern.
Yeah.
And then also, I would like to see the transition of the head. So if you're looking at the nose of the fish and then the white gill plate, so it's having that ability to, if you look at the gill plate on the head, the white gill plate, and then you look next to it on the skin of the fish, see the contrast in white pigment. This is quite common with juvenile fish because they're still developing that thickness and pigment on the head. But once and if that transitions to that sort of bright, brilliant sort of white color, yeah, it's game on.
Yeah, I'll play the video. There is no fish for sea this weekend.
There was, but had a split fin, so I removed it.
There you go. So, and Alan at 145 missed out on the last one, unfortunately. But yeah, back in with this. There's some really stunning fish tonight, guys. And I'm going to say it again, Chris. The white dorsal. Now this is part of the pattern. Now this white dorsal, so that you know, because this does actually go right. It like digs into the Benny.
Yeah,
Like it's a feature of this fish is the white dorsal.
I would say this is the best dorsal fin of the evening thus far.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we need to put a little sticker on the certificate, like Joe approves this dorsal fin.
yeah, if you are into dorsal fins, then yeah, get involved. But I like the
Someone back me up in the comments. Yeah, I need somebody to defend my case. This
silence, mate, silence. But no, you are right. It is. I'm a stickler for peck fins.
there you go. It's a gorgeous dorsal fin.
I agree. It is a stunning dorsal. Yeah. But peck fins, I'm very sort of, yeah, not very. What's the compromising on? That's probably the best thing to say. The peck fins for me are the way the fish postures itself.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, sometimes you can different fish hold the dorsal fins differently as well, because you see it when you're photographing them. Some fish will constantly have the
Flop
dorsal
over.
fin
Yeah,
over to one side, and you can tell it's almost like an elegance in the way that they swim, and also be photographed as well, because with little fish, when the dorsal's over to one side, sometimes you're just like cutting off half the bloody picture and pattern as well. So yeah, it's a difficult thing to photograph with small fish, to be honest.
Yeah, it is, mate. To capture all the details in the correct light as well, and do justice to it. So I like the intricacy behind the head as well. I think, as we mentioned, as that sort of the Shiroji becomes a bit more apparent around that Benny plate, that's just going to frame that pattern quite nicely. So yeah, yeah, beautiful little fish, nice proportion to it, and yeah, I think where we're sat at the moment, we'll stick a couple of minutes on this one, mate, and see how we get on.
This one's got like a shorter distance from the head to the dorsal in that shoulder region, but the length and size on that head is just it's kind of stand out for me, and even the mouth kind of even protrudes from the head as well. It's like a big fish head, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you've got if you're looking at his siblings, for example, most are sat around at about 18, 19 cm from the same batch. So
Wow.
at 24 cm, it's got a significant sort of genetic predisposal, if you will, to growing. Achieving a decent size has already proved that in a short amount of time that it's raced away from its siblings. So
Yeah.
we've got a minute left. Currently sat at 145. So if
Wow.
anyone is interested, we're looking for 150 to keep this alive.
This is by far the best fish of the night so far as well.
Yeah,
Great.
I think again, I sort of always picture fish if they're in and around dealerships around the UK. Is that generating value? You've always got to look at a fish connected to its price point. So I think at this sort of price point from this farm, it's pretty good value. So we've got 25 seconds left. We're currently at 155 with Ant Allen. So we're looking for 160 to keep this one alive, or a little bit higher,
Oh,
just to nudge it up. We've got 10 seconds left, guys. So we're looking at 160, or to take this one a little bit further, something a little bit higher. So currently with Ant Allen at 155. We've got 5 seconds left. We're going to have to call what's on the screen.
sorry,
Alan.
it was Alan.
Yeah.
Alan was in first there. Apologies.
So a few of you there come in at the last minute, but yeah, Alan was the first one in there at 160. So happy days. I think that's it's pretty good going.
Should change the mag from Koi Talk to Dorsal Talk. There you go. New idea for the magazine.
Yeah, it could be me, guys. Yeah.
So, moving on to Fish F. Well done, Alan. I don't know if we've had Alan before. If you can message Chris at koi-wholesale.co.uk with your preferred dealer and your telephone number as well, that'd be great. Well done. Yeah, a couple of people saying that's a bargain. Well done.
Yeah.
This one's 50 quid start price on this one, so a little bit less than the last one.
Yeah. Mouth looks a bit weird because I could not get it take a picture without it protruding its lip. So the lip is a bit hyperextended in the picture. So yeah, it's not sort of got a weird beak on it. That was just literally the best of about 100 pictures that I could take. So I guess the best way of describing this fish is, as toe sight, it's quite cluttered, isn't it? The belly pattern's quite heavy. But yeah, in terms of the other qualities, it's not a fish that's going to look in its best light as a small fish. That's the only way I look at this fish. As it gets bigger, the little windows of Shiroji are going to open up, and it just transforms the fish. Nice bit of quirkiness on the head as well. That's always nice. I'm not saying it's that's what you should go out looking for, but it's just an appealing aspect, isn't it? So
We've got a bid from Ant that I believe is 60 quid, not 660 quid.
wow, that is generous.
That would be an interesting first bid.
Yeah,
So Ant, if you just want to confirm,
very
that's
bold.
60 quid. Yeah, I've got. I'll wait for Ant to reply, but yeah, 60 quid at the minute. Oh, Malakin at 70 there.
So we're looking for 665, I think.
A true southerner, Chris. That's what that is.
Yeah, see the video when the fish is moving around a bit, you kind of get like a bit more of an image of what I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
it looks totally different.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? How you can get a bit of a different perspective and dynamic from a video to a still image. But yeah, strong Shiroji on the face as well, which is quite nice. A young age, strong Benny quality. And again, it's just one of those fish that it's the type of fish that you see when it's older, and you go, "Oh, that's nice," and then you see the toe side picture, and you kind of go, "Oh, I would never have bought that."
Yeah, that's true. That. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm just looking at like the second dan, and I'm imagining where that keyword is going to end and finish, and it's obviously going to have Shiroji right between it. And
So
then obviously,
you're going to get that window cleaning up. So you see where there's like a bit of a break on the left-hand side.
mhm.
So that the way I'm assessing this fish is that's going to be a white window. So that's going to be
Yeah.
like a white inroad into the pattern. You're going to get a bit more shiroji on the back left on the peduncle by the tail.
Mhm.
So that's going to be a bit more evident. And again, on the right hand side, you just see that little bit of shiroji creeping up.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
going to be it.
obviously, if we do the Chris hand motion again, the pattern is going to slim out across the, so if you get Shiroji on either side of that second dan, you've got to have, I think, a bit of a gamble with this. This is a gamble fish, really, to me. I think it's one of them where, if it's at Nisai and everything happens that you want to happen, you know, you're onto a winner.
I think
Uh,
it's just got quite. I mean, I think if you rocked up to a show with it, there's not a huge amount of point in doing that. But as a nice, vast majority of people are just looking for nice, attractive pond fish, of
mhm.
which this is going to be when it's bigger. It's got the attributes to be a good investment. You know what I mean? By the looks of things, from the price points today, we're not getting too carried away at all. We're not talking like Japan auction style prices where the sums of money is just absolutely vast. But yeah,
Yeah, and that's the but for Dainichi fish, I guess this is the reason why we do these auctions, so that people have an opportunity to potentially pick up quality like this at cheap prices.
yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at these and they're going. What, I've been in the industry a long time, and they are going below market value, but that is on us. It's this is why we put these events on as well.
Andrew, so if you have a look on our website at koiwholesale.co.uk and have a look at the dealers list, so I think it's koi-wholesale.co.uk/dealers, you'll see the list of participating koi dealers all around the UK, and they can take the fish delivered to their premises. So there'll most likely be one in your area that's participating.
Hmm.
And just have a look at the T's and C's. There's an additional handling charge on top of the bids that you place in, but just make sure you have a look through that as well. Yeah. So
Yeah,
with Ant Allen at 110 on this one.
yeah, cool. So I'll stick 3 minutes on this one.
Yeah, 23 centimeters as well. Obviously, not a small fish from this batch.
No, again, so like I said, on average, they're probably around about the 18, sort of 19 cm mark. Um, so just to plug, I'm in Cornwall, so it's pretty sparse for koi deers. I think probably off the top of my head, cold water koi, cold water fish. It used to be called Neverton Koi in Devon. Would probably be your closest. So yeah, check that out, buddy.
I think
Uh,
there's Howie Koi in Dorset as well.
he's on the south coast.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a few dealers in the south and southwest, mate. So yeah, hopefully you'll find someone on there. So where are we at, mate? 110 with Ant
Yeah.
Allen. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
get that video playing one more time, mate. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, nice Benny quality. That's one thing that often I see with young Kohaku. Is that Benny quality doesn't keep up as the fish grow.
Has they been pushed?
Yeah, and that can be retrieved, but can also go beyond it can become irreparable if you push that skin. If the pigment is stretched too much and there's not enough pigment information in the skin, it just gets damaged beyond repair. So yeah.
Oh, that's a nice comment. All my Japanese koi have originated from Koi Wholesale. What you're doing is a game changer for the hobbyists and the dealers also. Thanks, Jason. It makes it all worth it when Chris and me see comments like that. So that's nice.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Also, for people don't need to make those comments, do they? So it's always
No, it's nice.
much appreciated. So we've got 45 seconds left. Looks like Ant's gonna have himself another one to add to the collection here. So we've got 30 seconds. We're looking for 115 to keep this one alive.
Yeah, not bad fish for the money. 23 centimeters. Dainichi Koi.
15 seconds left. So anyone waiting in the yeah,
Sniping.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, Paul again. He's done it again. That's the second time tonight, Paul. You've sniped one.
Skills.
He's definitely a bother tonight. He's got to be. He said he won't buy any fish at the start of this auction.
Oh, mate, he's going to be in hot water at this rate, mate.
And I'm feeling for Ant as well. He's been bidding on a few, and he's been sniped on twice, I think, now. So
he's difficult. Yeah, but at least he got a couple of nice Kohaku, mate. So yeah.
Oh dear.
He's we know we are working behind the scenes to get a format that is not, I don't know whether fair is the right word, but we're working on a format where it doesn't rely on streaming, so it's a bit more of a level playing field. So yeah, this I like quite a lot.
This one is, let me just find it. This one is like E that we had earlier, just to the opposite side, and also three step as well.
Skin on
Different
it is
dynamic.
nuts.
Yeah, I think start right down at the bottom and just look at the size of the bloody mouth on the thing as well. Like it's a big mouth, big head, pattern between the eyes. Obviously, going over that right gill plate is quite heavy to like right hand side, but then the pattern on that first stand kind of takes your eye over to the opposite side again. And I'll say it again. I'm going to say it again, Chris. The dorsal again plays a part in the pattern.
That is stunning.
Yeah, the stunning dorsal fin.
It's doesn't surprise me that a few people are lumping on with this fish, because obviously it's going to break behind the head. So you're going to have that window of Shiroji that's just going to separate it, and it just adds, that I say it all the time. It's a bit, probably people getting a bit bored of it, but it's the best sort of descriptive word of talking about it. Is it adds that intricacy to the pattern, doesn't it? When you can get these white borders that are framing the Benny patterns, nice sort of skin quality, Benny quality. That's the other thing, probably. That's taken for granted. Oh, we've lost Joe. I just talked to myself. Is the level of, oh, there you are, mate.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry. Got freaked out there. That's probably one thing that's probably not fully grasped by everyone, is the consistency and the quality of the Benny in this Dainichi listings tonight. That they are, for the age, exceptional. You've got the transition from the head to the body. Normally, particularly on young fish, you'll see a deviation in pigment. That is, generally speaking, quite acceptable, particularly on young fish, because we accept that obviously the pigment density is different from the head to the body. You're dealing with sort of cartilage and skin versus scales. There's probably going to be a degree of flex in that color, a bit of differentiation between the two tones of quality of pigment. But look at that.
Wow.
It's as intense as the body, which is as intense as the back down of the fish. And then you just got that super, super quirky sort of hook pattern as well behind the dorsal.
Oh, that is proper stunning. That
A little bit naughty, this one, mate.
it really is. This is and the pec fins as well. It's got them kind of Mickey Mouse ears shape,
Yeah,
pectoral
yeah,
fins.
yeah.
It's kind of that perfect roundness. I always feel like that adds. Two things I can't stand is triangular shaped pec fins and red in the dorsal fin. There you go. And this one doesn't have either, so it's got the Joe Mitchell seal of
Oh,
approval. This one. There
wow.
you go.
There we go, guys.
But we did a live stream on an auction a few weeks ago with Alan with Dainichi fish, and the one thing he said is these fish are good fish, but they're also an opportunity for somebody to learn about Dainichi genetics as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just think if you're not willing to part with serious money for maybe jumbo tosai or something like that, for a fish of this quality to have in your pond and see how it deals with your water, and if it does have any difference and you see the Dainichi genetics, then you've learned something from it. Then that's good value to anyone,
Mate,
isn't it?
I'm telling you now, you walk into the Nietzsche fish house, that if you get in there, your lowest price point is going to be probably in the region of 40, realistically 50,000 yen for jumbo tosai.
Mm.
And the standard is not, it's okay. They've got the body attributes, but they're fish that they don't want to keep.
Yeah, and that's without VAT, without shipping,
And that's sort of buying a box quantity of them, and that's
and
trade price.
and dealer,
So
dealers part.
yeah, I think some people do. The, the reality is, like getting hold of fish from this farm is not easy.
No.
He's got it is an absolute powerhouse. The farm is very commercialized, so the marketing, the branding, everything is very sort of Western in that approach, and but it's not just sort of like that. It's they back it up with the quality of the fish as well.
Mm.
It's not like they're saying we're the best and sell a load of people a load of tut. It's time and time again you'll just see every All Japan koi show. It just the mop up.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's an area that I'd like to. We spoke about last week about some of the other Kohaku breeders like Nogami and
Yeah.
Hoshikin as well, but I would like to try and do Dainichi, Kohaku, Sakai, Sankey just to see, and get different breeders just to compare growth
Mm.
rates and other bits.
Well, the Benny quality is something that really sort of is astonishing with Dainichi fish.
Mm.
It's that sort of if memory
X
serves
factor.
me if that memory serves me correctly, that Kagura sort of connection with this sort of really rich Benny style is quite unique, and that's why it underpins a lot of the Kohaku lines in Nagata as well, because people want this sort of thick, glossy, elastic style Benny, which Dainichi does. So yeah. So we haven't had too much activity on this one for.
No, I'm hoping Ant gets this one because he's been sniped by Paul twice so far. So
Come on, Ant.
we're voting for Ant for this one, but yeah, I don't know whether you want to add a timer for this one.
Yeah, let's stick a couple of minutes on this one, mate. So we've got 1:40 left.
We're not even halfway through the night so far. We're already at an hour 10 minutes.
Oh, you're joking, aren't you?
Hopefully
I've got a
everyone's
long day
enjoying
tomorrow.
it. You've pictured a lot of fish this week.
I know. I know. I sort of when I'm going to sleep at the moment, I'm hearing the flash go off.
Oh dear. Yeah.
So got minute 10 left, guys. If anyone wants to get involved, we're looking for 235 to keep it alive.
Yeah, not bad value for money. This.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely little piece, mate. I think it's just going to make a nice fish moving forward. Type of fish that you know I'd be buying, stick in my pond.
Yeah. There you go. The Chris Wall seal of approval as well.
I've just killed it now, mate.
You killed it.
Yeah, everyone's going to be backing out of it. So 30 seconds left, guys. Looks like Ant's on his own with this one at 230. So if anyone wants to push this one a little bit more, just keep in mind any lag or anything. So we've got 15 seconds left. So if you don't want to leave it till the last moment, then yeah, please let us know. 10 seconds left. Currently sat at 230. 5 seconds left.
Oh, I'm nervous for him. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, and there were a few people trying as well. You sneaky, sneaky people. And you won that one.
Yeah,
Well done, mate.
like I say, we call what's on the screen, guys. So yeah, those other bids come in just after. Yeah, so yeah, well done, Ant. I think that's a cracking little fish, mate. And yeah, fair play for sticking with that one.
Yeah, nice one. Now this one's probably going to be a popular one, I'm imagining. Well done, Ant. Yeah, this one's yeah, traditional two-step, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? Just the only reason I didn't sort of stick a bit of a higher bid on was because the fins, the pec fin is. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, but I know like a lot of it will be perceived as a a problem. Young Tosai, they do get these little nicks in the fins constantly. But yeah, from a technical perspective, I think moving forward, yeah, this could be a little bit of a weapon, to be honest with you.
It's got that kind of yeah, it's got the markings of a good fish consistency in Benny, and nice edging to the Benny as well, and perfect placement. Already a few bids. I think Mark was in first at 60 quid there. So yeah, let's play the video on this one. Where are we? There we go.
It's quite textbook, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I can't even see what it is you're mentioning about the pectoral fins. I'm trying to look for it, but
It's
is it
mate.
in that left hand
Yeah,
pectoral fin?
I'm probably being overcritical, to be honest with you, which is shame on me. But it's good for you guys because
How dare you be honest, Chris?
yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, it's
So I'm guessing it's just during feeding it's split and
honestly, it's not even split. It's just a tad raggedy in that right hand fin as you look at it, but it really is marginal. When I just looked at the video, then I was sort of thinking, yeah, maybe I should have just kept that to grow.
well, there's no turning back now, as I've told
Yeah.
Ricky numerous times.
But
So
I know it's cliche to say it, but big fish pattern, mate.
yeah, we say that about a few Dainichi fish, but I guess it's I guess the Dainichi fish that we're keeping and haven't released in even the small sizes from these are the ones that have that big fish pattern, and that's why we see so many of them on the farm that do have that. That's what Ricky and yourself are looking for when you're releasing fish, is the pattern for in the future rather than at that small size.
So it can be difficult because if you're a hobbyist and you've got, say, maybe I don't know, space or budget for a couple of fish a year, it puts quite a bit of pressure on those choices, doesn't it? So it's human nature to sort of go with something that's a bit easier to read.
Mm.
You know, whereas fish like this, for me, I do find them easy to read. You just need to do your bit and put size on the fish.
Mm.
Or even as a small fish, once that you get a bit of refinement on the fish, keeping it small and entering it in, to the show scene in years, in a year's time, sort of thing. Not all fish have to be absolutely smashed and grown to within an inch of its life. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I did a podcast with Ricky about the size keeping fish small and how difficult it is to actually
Yeah,
raise small fish, which sounds bizarre, but I don't know if you've seen that video
yeah.
where there was Sakai who said he had a Kohaku that he wanted to raise for international
Junior
the
Koi, yeah,
junior koi show, sorry,
yeah,
and it was 62 centimeters and he could only grow it 63 and that in a year.
yeah.
And and keep condition and body size and mass. Like that sounds like a challenge in itself to me.
That's the thing, is keeping the body mass on the fish without it growing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's difficult.
Feed it Cheerios the day before the show or something like that.
That's it, mate. Yeah. Put mass on me. So yeah.
So we're with Alan Oliver at 135 at the minute.
Super clean fish, mate.
Yeah, it's nice. I like the pattern on this, and how it's kind of symmetrical between the eyes as well, right down to if you mirrored the center of the head, the pattern's equal on either side of the head.
Nice dome stop at the back end of the fish there as well.
Yeah.
So the reason why a lot of, obviously from a technical point of view, people always sort of say it's got to start and finish with white. Again, I've said before, I don't subscribe to that. But what it does is when you've got white and that the white pigment at the back, that tail end where the peduncle is, visually it gives the area more mass. So if you have red running into the fin like that, visually, it's almost an illusion that it's narrowing that area. So having that white area, it physically looks as if the fish has got more mass. Nuts.
There you go, look, Chris.
There you go. Stunning dorsal. I agree.
I think we should keep commenting every nice dorsal we see on this auction until Chris's head explodes. So every fish that has a nice dorsal, we need to be commenting on it. I agree, Dave.
I've got no problems with a nice dorsal.
Oh, you don't now everybody's on the bandwagon with it.
That's the first
you
thing
did when it was just me.
That's the first thing I look at.
Honestly.
Right, where are we at with this one? Alan Oliver, 135 quid.
Yeah, he's pushing
Set
you
the
to
time
end
in 10 seconds. Yeah, let's give this a couple of minutes then, guys.
Yeah, nice
again,
fish.
when I'm sort of thinking of this fish as Nisai, 45, 50 cm, you're talking serious wonga to ship this fish from Japan.
Yeah. Oh, we've got Ollie in at 140. Alan, if you want to let us know if you're still in, bud.
Obviously, unsexed as well. These fish were genuinely too small to sex. I know some people say, "Oh, unsexed means male." Nope. With these, there were far too many of them physically for a breeder to go through them, and they were too small as well. So even at the best guess would have been a flip of a coin. So there's still going to be female fish among this batch as well. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, that's true. There are certain fish that like in the auctions where we can sex them immediately. Like when there's been occasions where I think Ricky's been involved and we've like lifted the fish into the bowl, and when the gill plates are like sandpaper, I guess that's a good indication that they're male.
Sorry,
So
Joe. 45 seconds left. I see a few
go.
people lumping on now.
Yeah, there are.
So we've got 30. 35 seconds left, guys.
Ah, this is a popular one, this.
Matthew pulling away there, 175. Nice bid. Again, I still think quite a lot of value for a fish of this size. Again, I'm just thinking 2 years in advance from this point. 15 seconds left. So if anyone wants to challenge Matthew.
Oh, Gary in 180.
180. 10 seconds left, guys. So it's going to take 185 or something a bit bigger to win this. We've got 5 seconds left.
Oh,
Marcus,
Marcus in.
right in at the last minute.
Well done. That's Marcus' third fish of the evening.
Banging.
Well done. That was a popular one in the end.
Yeah, nice fish.
Well done. So moving on then to, wow, what a beast that is.
Yeah,
wow.
That's a bit of me, that is, Joe.
Yeah, I'm looking at the body on that. The taper is, yeah, this is really nice. Thick peduncle as well. And I'm going to say it's got a clean dorsal fin.
Stunning dorsal fin, mate. Stunning.
And the
just
pattern.
Got, even for a 24 cm fish, it's just got that degree of power to it already at a small size. And again, that intricacy at the back of that first that first bending step. You see, it's going to be coming in from the right, in from the left, and obviously as that gets framed by that shioji as well, pattern sits nicely between the eyes. Yeah, I guess if you're being hypercritical, a little bit of bending in the tail, but again, that's the last thing that I see with this fish.
Well, I'm loving the detailing to the edge of that first Dan.
Yeah,
you know, that scale detail around the keyword, and once the sachet refines, that's going to be phenomenal when this is a big fish and the scales grow out. Like, yeah,
it's ironic because sometimes I say the small fish, the best fish best big fish don't always make the best small fish. But I think this one is just going to be pleasant throughout its entirety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to read, and that lessons, that just gives people a bit more confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Wow, so there's bids flying in at the minute. 210 with Alan. Alan's back in on this one. Yeah, I think people can see the quality in this one. Obviously, the bidding's got a bit higher with this one, but I agree. I think this fish holds a lot more future value. Nice comment there from Steve.
I agree.
Yeah. That head is something to behold as well. Like the way that it, circular between the eyes. Yeah, they're not called nostrils, are they? But they're not impeded by the Benny either.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's nice and clean, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's really clean, and the gill plate's been white. The inside of the gill plate's been white. But yeah, I just can't take my eyes off the edging of that first Dan.
I've got a clear picture of this fish, and yeah, doesn't spread. It seems like everyone else has as well. It's a super little piece. It really is. And again, if you're looking at that bit of red in the fin first, you're in the wrong hobby, sort of thing. There's so many more positive things to enjoy about this fish before that even comes into the conversation.
See, that doesn't bother me at all. That not one bit. That other people might find that just an absolute no-go, but like the same that I wouldn't. We've spoken about the dorsal, but as a bit of a joke. But that thing on the tail, it don't bother me at all.
No. I mean, for this sort of price point, the qualities that you got, again, this Benny quality. Even I can't stop raving about it. Even for a young fish, that's the thing about it. These are young fish, and normally with young fish, the Benny is the attribute that struggles. But
Yeah,
such is the sort of genetic trait with Dainichi Benny characteristics. It's just on another level, mate.
I suppose even I'm a bit numb to that as well. And you've mentioned it a couple of times, and maybe I haven't taken it in, but
But I
I
think
think when
people
we're
take it for granted.
yeah, I think that's what I would just
Mm.
with we keep chucking up these Sakai and Dainichi fish on auction, like it's just a given that fish have Benny like this at a young age, and I'm
Mm.
guessing that's not the case. The Odecan stuff that we've got in, the Benny's not refined like this. I mean, they're at a different
Yeah,
stage
that's
of
it. Yeah.
conditioning and everything else, but the Benny's not as you know perfect like this is now, and I think we need to maybe appreciate that a little bit more with the Dainichi and Sakai stuff.
They're just the full package. If you're looking for, qualities in fish, growth potential, yes. Longevity, yes. Skin quality, yes. Pigment quality, yes. And then it's just a case of selecting the right fish.
Hmm.
A pattern is very subjective, but equally, it's the lowest metric of scoring when it comes to showing your koi,
Yeah,
and that's one thing that a lot of people gloss over as well.
I
The pattern is the thing that draws you in, isn't it? And ironically, the pattern is probably what sells 90% of our koi.
yeah,
We're just
but
fortunate with this Dainichi lot that you're getting everything as well.
I think pattern does have to play a part though. Like I do
Oh, of
agree.
course, yeah.
Body shape is big in koi, but you know it's a good job that my wife don't pay much attention to body shape because otherwise I might be kicked out of the door. Um, but like if it, you know, but with fish, I think it has to be the right balance,
Yeah,
and it's finding that. Yeah, I think you're drawn in by pattern, and my eye gravitates when we go to a show or a koi dealer or whatever, or if Ricky gets a new shipment of fish in my eye gets drawn to good patterns, but then like instinctively now I'm thinking, right, good pattern, but does it have X, Y, Z? I don't
yeah.
know whether your eye goes to body shape and then to pattern.
Do you know what I've always said? Often when you're looking at a pond full of fish, you say, like, we could be looking at a pond up at the farm, and there's, say, like five. Could easily, well, at the moment there's one pond with 2,000 fish in.
Mm,
You'll pick out the same fish, and
mm,
that's because your gut. That's because the skin, the size, the shape, and then obviously that pigment quality as well. And 9 times out of 10, when you start selecting through fish, that fish will come up again.
mm.
Next time round, it'll come up again. So there's a lot of gut with it as well, mate.
Yeah.
And attaching a vision to a fish straight away. Some people can't do that. It's
Mm,
quite and sometimes that vision isn't right.
mm.
There's nothing guaranteed in this game. So I'll stick in a couple of minutes on this one.
Yeah, it's gone a bit
Uh,
quiet now.
it looks like Ant's going to secure another fish. I really rate this fish.
Yeah, me too.
Nothing more to be said about it. Yeah.
Andrew asked, is it hard to tell the gender? I think at a young age it's really difficult. I guess you're more better to place
Yeah,
comments.
young fish, certainly to guarantee it. You can have an inkling, but yeah, normally this sort of age fish is just sold as unsexed unless something is really obvious. Quite easy to guarantee a male, if they're showing signs, but not so easy to guarantee a female.
Mm.
If the males start coming up with spawning tubercles quite early, then yeah. But yeah, Stephen Crane, 250 quid. Seeing a bit of value in this. We've got 30 seconds left on this one. Dave Gardner as well in with 250. So we're looking for 255 to keep this one alive. We've got 20 seconds left on this piece. Oh, nice little outro there. Nice one, Joe. 15 seconds. Currently with Stephen Crane.
Oh,
Dave Gardner
David
in with
Gardner.
260. Squeaky bum time. 8 seconds left. Currently at 260, 5 seconds. We're looking for 265 to keep this one alive.
Sold to Dave Gardner. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
I don't
Super
think
fit.
if we had Dave before. So if Dave, if you've not had a fish from us before, if you could email chris@koi-wholesale.co.uk with the code of the fish, the preferred dealer of your choice, and your telephone number, that'd be brilliant.
I think Dave has, but yeah, always.
Oh, you made me read it all out anyway then.
Yeah, sorry, man. I thought you were doing such a smooth job of it. I didn't want to interrupt, but yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, nice fish that, Dave. Yeah, really nice. I think this one's going to be quite popular as well.
See, I didn't know whether people were going to get this or not.
I mean, yeah. I just think the body's lacking a bit at the minute with this fish. I think compared to the
Yeah,
other one.
yeah. That's probably that's probably a fair assessment, isn't it, in comparison to that last one? But nonetheless, it's still quite an easy fish to assess, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, I
Nice.
think it. Yeah, I think you're looking at, well, it's got Dainichi genetics, and that guarantees me it's going to be a good body. I think that's a naive, not you can never guarantee a good body, but you can get a good inclination that sometimes fish. I've seen it at Koi Wholesale where fish have been separated from certain other fish that have maybe taken. This one's a little bit smaller as well, a few centimeters smaller than some of the
Mm,
others we've had. So maybe in the right conditions, a fish sometimes in a less competitive environment
yeah,
can get that body shape. And I think that's the when you're buying a fish and you're thinking, well, maybe if I can get the body, that's the gamble you're taking, that
yeah.
it just
Agreed.
needs a less competitive environment.
Just a super stripped back style of pattern, isn't it? As well,
Yeah, but
nice silky skin.
yeah, and it's got the perfect amount of Benny as well for that kind of
Mm,
stripped back style. A little bit more, say duplicate that second Dan on the opposite side. I think it wouldn't really be stripped back. Yeah, it's really nice that.
super clean little fish, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk about that Benny as well again.
Yeah, we need to reference it every time really so that people, understand. It's got that detailing on the scale edge as well, which is, similar to that last one, that Marizome style scalloped kiwa. Um, yeah, nice fish all around really. 140.
Yeah, I think again, sort of picturing this fish as it grows. That's the thing you got to keep in mind with all of these fish. I know there's a few people get a bit sort of surprised about the sort of prices that some of these small fish fetch. But the reality is people enjoy growing the fish. I know that out of all the aspects of koi keeping, that's what I enjoy the most.
Yeah,
Raising young fish, getting the dream, finding that fish that the breeders let go, and turning it into something, yeah, pretty phenomenal.
yeah. I think that's the exciting thing about this, right? You could buy this fish, put it in a less competitive environment, and maybe send it to me and Chris and go, look at this. That fish that you let go for 140 quid is now 3-year old and 60 centimeters, and it's
Yeah,
ploughed on, and it's got this lovely stripped back style. And that's why I'm really keen to do this Koi Auctions Revisited podcast.
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
I think
yeah, I
it'd be
like that.
really, really fun, to get pictures from the fish that you guys have raised from these auctions and yeah, document them a little bit.
Might have to be a video though, Joe. Podcast might not work very well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, unless yeah. Oh, we can maybe just fantasize about it
Yeah,
on
we
on.
could maybe describe the fish.
Sounds like ASMR or something. That yeah.
I'm gonna stick a couple of minutes on this one.
Yeah.
So currently sat at 240 with, 140 with Dave Brown. Yeah,
Yeah.
tidy little fish, mate. I think that's a little bit of a naff descriptive word, but it is just. Yeah,
Have,
I look at that and I just think, yeah, tidy.
have you seen it often where you've taken a fish that maybe sometimes is lacking a little bit of body shape, and have you seen it where you've separated them and put them in a different environment and seen them grow on?
All the time.
Mm.
All the time. Literally, with young towsai, it's the matter of the difference between a couple of centimeters 1 week. Difference in size could be 5 or 6 centimeters come sort of 6 weeks time, because those small fish, they just get suppressed. Big. It's the nature of the beast. Bigger fish are always releasing pheromones into the water to suppress smaller fish. Biggest fish
Oh, I did
wins.
not know that. I didn't know that.
Biggest fish wins. So the more fish you got in your pond, the more pheromones are released. So those small fish,
What is a pheromone? Because that's a new one on me.
chemical that is released, like a biological, the equivalent for a human would be like a scent,
Ah, okay, yeah.
pheromone, if you will, but they're released into the water, and it can suppress growth hormones in small fish.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, full
There
of
you go.
loads of boring stuff, mate. But what happens is those small fish are kept small to the point that they can't catch up with the bigger fish. The bigger fish race on. You've probably seen it in your pond.
Yeah.
You just got a fish or two that just won't grow.
Yeah.
You've selected it, you've looked at the fish, it's got all the attributes to grow, but it just won't grow.
Mm.
Stick
But
it in a different pond and it starts growing.
yeah, that's it. I think you're always gonna get like a fish that's not as confident in feeding as well, and you see it at Koi Wholesale where you just chuck pellets on, and they're like, so some of them are eating pellets like out of the water. They're just
Yeah.
gliding along the top of other fish to eat pellets. And some fish do not get involved with that, just in
It's
general.
it's a predatory thing. So in a natural environment, this happens to keep small fish are more likely to get predated on.
Mm,
So if you have a high content of pheromone because the ponds are overstocked, nature is designed to keep those stocking levels under control.
mm,
So it stops fish growing quickly so that they don't get eaten. So then the water courses aren't overstocked. But obviously, when you throw like humans into the mix, and we can artificially filter the water and keep it under control, the rule book goes out the window a little bit.
yeah, that's crazy.
Stick 2 minutes on this one, mate. Sorry, I'm going off on one.
Wow. Yeah, nice fish, this one.
Mm.
Yeah, so
So
currently we Dale at 145, looking for 150 if anyone wants to come back on Dale's bid.
I know there's a few people waiting for some of the last lots. So sorry if I'm rambling. I just can't help myself, Joe. Sometimes.
There you go. I think people appreciate it because I've learned something there.
I know one person that doesn't appreciate it, and that's my wife. She thinks I'm super, super boring.
Oh dear. Yeah. So I think we've had a good night of some people getting fish at realistically good value money here.
That is, what Marek's saying is accurate as well.
All right, I didn't know that either.
Water changes in general, but that's a whole nother conversation. Benefits and advantages and versus shit that goes on with it, as you're finding out at the moment with copper in your water.
Yeah.
So we've got 30 seconds left, guys, on this one. We're looking for 155 to keep this one alive. 150 for a fish of this caliber from this farm. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
15 seconds left. So to all the lastminute.com people out there, don't leave it too late. Ollie is hanging on there.
Oh, here we
We
go.
got
160 with Marcus
160
again.
with Marcus. We got 3 seconds left. Currently with Marcus at 160.
Oh, well, I can't take that. It's the same bid, Ollie. Sorry.
Yeah, same bid, isn't it? Yeah, Marcus is
Yeah,
in the
if it had been 165, it would have been.
first.
All the police stolen. There's been a few of that. Paul and Marcus are on one tonight. I think Paul has gone a bit quiet. I think he's maybe got us on mute, so the missus doesn't hear us talking about how many fish he's bought.
Might be safer, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Another opportunity here for someone to pick up a another stunning fish here. So 3-step. This one's got a little bit more to do on Benny's side. I mean,
Yes, and that's why I started it at this price. To be honest
50
with
quid.
you, there's been some recession on the Benny. It just needs to keep going. So obviously you're looking at the peduncle area. I'm not too concerned about the bit behind the head. That's just a case of a bit of a sashi there that's going to retreat. So I don't have any concerns there whatsoever. All in all, relatively speaking, mate, yeah, pretty tidy little piece.
Yeah, I like this. It's got like the nice head pattern. Head shape in general is quite nice. It's quite a long head and with a broad mouth, in proportion to the width of the head. The video looks totally different actually. That Benny behind the head doesn't look as severe on the video.
No, again, it's just in this transition period, mate.
Yeah, I think
So,
yeah,
I think for the price point that it's sat at, yeah, it's well worth a little punt, to be honest with you.
yeah, I'd agree with that. And then that kind of S shape in the last stand, across the dorsal is nice.
Well, I say it a lot. It's nice to have, sometimes people can get a bit bored out by Kohaku Sankey because they're very, they conform to type, don't they? They're very much like 1-step, 2-step. If that's your thing, that's fine. But having a bit of quirkiness in the pattern just adds that little bit of flair, doesn't it, when it comes to, a red and white fish.
Yeah, it's you look for little. I'm one for like quite a heavy Benny, but floral patterns, zigzaggy patterns or something like that. Or Kindai style Kaku. I'm not one that'll go for just a 3-step with, average amount of Benny and Shiroju that you can just replicate with the majority of breeders. I like a little bit difference in Kahaku, and this one has that kind of quirk factor.
Yeah, I am a bit of a sucker for a head pattern, I must admit.
Here we go. Paul's upstairs out of his way, and Alan's looking for his lass's purse. Oh dear.
Right, so stick a couple of minutes on this one, mate.
Yeah, 110 at the minute. I think we're on for a world record longest koi wholesale live auction tonight.
Mate, where does it go?
We've got four more to go after this.
What? Have we?
Yeah. Yeah, we've
Oh,
been
yeah,
going for an hour and 3/4.
30-second auctions, mate.
I think Chris got carried away with the amount of photos he were doing last week.
I think I have, mate, haven't I?
I
Maybe
think
I've been a bit ambitious with what I said to you earlier, mate, about 25 fish.
Yeah, we've got 16 fish tonight in total.
Have we?
Yeah.
I really need to start keeping an eye on these, mate.
Yeah. 120 with New Forest Koi. Yeah, the Shiroji quality is banging on this.
Yeah, just yeah, I think it's well within reason for a bit of a punt, mate. Even with the sort of areas that we've spoken about, again,
Hmm.
it doesn't even register with me when I'm looking at that fish really for these sort of price points.
Ollie back in at 130.
So we've got 40 seconds left on this one, guys. Now we've probably got some of the standout lots to come as well, so they're going to
Oh, no, sorry.
get a bit of interest by quite a few of you. 30 seconds left.
145.
Steve Boy in at 145. How we doing, Steve? Looking for 150 to keep this one alive. Currently sat at 145. We've got 10 seconds left, guys. So any bids, please let us know. Currently sat at 145 with Peng. 4 seconds left. Looks like Steve's going to get this one.
Well done.
145. Well done, Steve.
Well done. Ollie
late
back
there,
in
Ollie.
there. Sorry, just a bit late.
On to the next one, mate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this one's going to be popular, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get much more modern in style than that. And 24 centimeters, probably one of the biggest tonight.
As my little boy would say about Paddington Bear, what's not to like?
Honestly. Howie Coy already in at 170 there.
It's
Yeah.
just like textbook, mate, isn't it? I mean, it's you could just sort of sit here and not say anything and put a timer on it for 10 minutes. It's
Wow.
super,
Yeah,
super easy fish to read.
yeah, that's stunning. Great body shape as well.
Yeah, it's a bit bonkers that like these are the types of fish that, again, when this fish I remember when this fish come in, the white skin was quite pinky.
Similar to like the ones we've had earlier.
Mm. See the bit on the shoulder behind the head,
Mm-hmm.
but it's sort of in recession completely. So I think
Yeah,
you'll end up again same with the nose of the fish, because it's quite a juvenile fish. It's not generated that white pigment yet. So once you get that shiroji right on the tip of the nose, yeah, it's just such a it's just one of those fish where you just go, yeah, free step, perfect proportion, nice skin, good body line, not a particularly small fish either. You know,
no.
we've spoken already tonight about the fact that these fish are sort of, in advance of sort of 5-6 centimeters of a lot of their siblings in the same pond. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's yeah. I think sometimes you get a balance of, well, this one's a little bit bigger, but it doesn't have the pattern that I want. If somebody wants a marathon three step Dainichi,
Oh yeah,
and also it's one of the bigger fish of the bunch, then look no further.
I remember years ago, I had a guy say to me, I'm after a 4-step marathon, Hoshikin Kohaku. And I was like, I've got one of them. Let me just get it off the shelf. And literally, it could have been not have been more textbook if you tried. But also the distance from each Dan as well is just completely like equidistant, isn't it? It's just completely balanced. Like
Yeah,
not as if like it's that middle Dan pattern is just literally completely generates harmony.
yeah, yeah. If that middle Dan was like not as central as it is as well, like it's like you said, the placement of it. If it was a little bit further forward and there was a bigger gap to
Mm.
that third Dan, it would be it'd be too sparse. It's the perfect quantity. But again, the the Chris Wall hand gesture.
It's a
When that's
great,
it,
it's a
when
great thing to do, mate.
yeah, when the body shape comes up, you're gonna see that outline around that second Dan as well, which is gonna be spectacular, really. And as the head grows out, you'll get a different, shape to that, almost like Tancho. style spot on the head as well.
Yeah, the Maritain mark. Yeah,
Yeah,
that Adome as well probably doesn't seem that significant at the moment either. That tail stop, but
yeah.
just a little bit of white ground and that flat kiwa to the back of the pattern
Mm.
on a bigger fish. That's going to have quite an impression.
Yeah, I think this. We've got a question here from Jason. Good for shows. Do you think in a couple of years? I think with the right conditioning. Yeah,
I think the thing that you got. I mean, Alan's not here tonight. Obviously, pattern only takes you so far, so you got to keep in mind that uh, the scoring metrics are heavily based around body and skin. So as much as it's a really pleasing fish to look at, the body line's good. Um, Again, if you sort of take this fish and condition it well in the smaller sizes, yeah, I think it could do well.
What about the dorsal fin? Yeah, it does have the dorsal fin
Not
does
my
split
favourite
it.
dorsal fin of the night.
You can see Benny in the dorsal fin just where that second dan is, but it's got white in the tips of all of the rays, and I have seen fish that I've seen fish that have had that small amount of Benny where it's only a tiny bit like this where it has receded
Yeah,
over time. Yeah, and so like to me, the main thing is are all the tips of the rays white, so it's got that effect of cutting it down the middle, and it does have that. So to me, yeah, that's a tick for the Joe Mitchell dorsal approval
wow.
service.
I think, yeah, he needs to do an article on dorsal fins, I think, mate.
Oh dear.
Yeah, figured this one would be pretty wild, mate. So, yeah, I think we'll stick 3 minutes on this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we're going to go into Wednesday at this rate, mate. Um,
Oh dear.
so currently with Mark Keane at 365. So
Yeah.
if anyone's got any advances on it, I get he's just like literally a textbook fish. I know it's probably a bit cliche to say like, oh wow, that's very textbook, but it is, isn't it? If you're sort of
Yeah.
like saying, oh, I'm looking for a 3-step Kohaku, here you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dainichi, going back to it, and Benny quality as well. Are you getting overtime? Says Steve. I don't think Chris knows the definition. Chris just works
Yeah.
24/7. To be fair.
Live, eat, drink, koi.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Are you looking forward to Sunday, Steve? Chris. God, it's getting late.
It's fine, mate. It's fine. It's that sun getting to you, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it is. I am. It's going to be good. It's always nice to yeah, see everyone's faces and what we're achieving up here, sharing it a bit more with the general public as well, because I think sometimes people don't really connect what we are doing here. So yeah, no, it should be good, mate. Be even
Yeah.
better if Luton are in the Premiership by then as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a minute and a half left on this one, guys. I'll play that video one more time. Where are we? Pretty obvious one to see. Currently with Mark at 365. So we're looking for 370 or more to keep this one alive, guys. Thought this one would be popular.
Yeah. I think the people of the auctions have a very specific fish that they like, and this is one of them. How long left?
45 seconds, mate. So it looks like Mark's out on his own here, unless someone comes in at the last minute. So yeah, just keep in mind, guys, if there is a bit of a
Molly.
Nice 405. 30 seconds left. Anyone going to beat Molly? 405 currently.
I'm nervous.
20 seconds left. 15 seconds left. We're looking for 410 or more. 10 seconds left, guys. 5 seconds left. So we're going to call what's on the screen. 405. What's happened there?
I think that was meant to be 420.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus, well done.
Yeah, cracking little fish.
Snipers are in. Yeah. Well done, mate. What a fish that is. That's another one that I want to see again in a year's time.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely.
I think we're all going to have to bob round to Marcus's house and see all these fish as well, to be fair. Marcus and Paul's. Yeah, so exactly what I said earlier on about one red eye would not bother me at all. This doesn't bother me at all on this
Mate,
fish.
I
Because
think without that red eye, it's not here.
no, well, I think because it's got it. I think to quote Chris Wall, it's in keeping with the mental pattern, right? It's mental. It's it's got two separate dams on the head, and then it flows into what I guess is going to be two more dams, because it looks like them two are they're gonna separate.
Yeah, we would hope that there'd be a bit more of a cleaner break moving forward. You got that nice little button nose on the fish. Then you got that Maritain mark on the head, and then you got this sort of like
Wow.
Inazuma, like lightning strike, ziggy zaggy esque pattern along the back.
Oh, that is.
Big fish style.
I'm gonna say I think this is probably one of my favourites of the night so far. This.
Yeah, it's one that I'm quite intrigued to see how it does. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
Belly
it's.
quality good. You just need that refinement on that shoulder there. But you see the kiwa, the sashi on the sort of the break either side of the dorsal. So it's got some nice technical features. The Benny quality, we've already spoken about that several times. And those white windows are going to become more prominent. Probably
Yeah.
something that isn't that visible at the moment, but towards the back of the dorsal on the right, can you see that little white window, Joe?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's going to be a prominent feature
Mm.
moving forward with this fish, because what it's going to do is it's going to generate more harmony and that balance.
Yeah,
So
it's not going to be as one-sided. Yeah.
that's probably on a small fish. It doesn't look that apparent or that significant. But obviously, as the fish gets bigger, this is where just reading the fish, reading the pattern style is quite important.
Yeah.
Again, sort of 22 cm, so it's by no means a small fish. So yeah, fish that
Nice.
a few people messaged me about this fish. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pectoral fins and nice shape as well. Dorsal, it's got a little bit of benny in the base of it, but that all the tips seem to be white, unless there's one that I've missed.
Well, I quite like quite a lot of Benny in my Kohaku, particularly when they're smaller, because again, as they get bigger, they transform and those white windows become more important. So yeah, for me, yeah, real tidy little fish. A one again, I've got quite a good vision or an image in my head if it carries on doing what I think it could do. So yeah.
Yeah, I like this one, and at 170 quid, that is yeah, not bad money at all.
Just again, it's the white windows. It's literally to go from left to right to left to right, and then you've got a tiny bit of a dome at the back as well. It's not a lot, but it's gonna just finish that pattern for the fish. So yeah, tidy little fish. I'm gonna stick 3 minutes on this one, mate.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, where are we at there? Start 3 minutes now.
Let's go. 3 minutes. 180 with Ian at the minute. Steve bid on YouTube, but it's come through a little bit later. Tony Hutchins in at 200. Yeah, drop us a comment and let us know if you're coming on Sunday as well. It'd be nice to know who's coming.
Yeah, I see a few people saying, message me this week saying that they're coming at the weekend. There's still a few tickets left, I think, Joe.
All right, okay. Well,
Um,
what an opportunity. Honestly, I think it's worth coming just so you can learn something from them Takano fish and see them and see the before and afters as well.
yeah, we've got some good. We've documented these quite a lot, so we've got a nice episode coming up of like a development from them as well, because we had a lot of people saying, those Sankey, I could pick better Sankey, and yeah, I think we won't hear any of that after the event.
Oh no.
For the price point that they are, I think a lot of people are forgetting as well. We put on 2 fully catered events as well.
Well, I think it's fair to say that people didn't know what they were getting for 400, for 500 quid, and people have put faith in Ricky, to to raise them. People are not going to be disappointed. I can almost guarantee it.
Minute and a half left on this one, guys. So where we sat at the moment, mate, with Dave
228 Dave Gardner. There's a couple of people still in, I think.
So we've got a minute 20 left, guys. So even my dad liked this one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is your dad into Koi?
Yeah, he loves it, mate. Yeah, this is who got me into it, mate.
Wow.
But he said, "Can I bid on his behalf?" And I was like, "It might not come across particularly well."
And we don't get a discount anyway, apparently.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so yeah.
I'm still waiting on my price for that Kage Shiro.
I keep telling you, mate, you're going to be waiting a while. 45 seconds left, guys. So if anyone is involved, let me just get that video playing one last time. 30 seconds left. We're currently with Dave at 220.
Oh, we've got Terry in at 275.
275. Terry taking it into his own realms. 20 seconds left, guys. Any advances on 275 with Terry at the moment at 275.
Karuto Koi.
10 seconds left. 10 seconds left, guys. Currently with John at Karuto for 315. 5 seconds left. Any advances on 315? If not, looks like John is going to take this for £315.
Well done.
Yeah.
One of my favourite Koi of the night, that.
Hmm.
There's a few that have been, really nice, but yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, great little piece.
Well done. So, moving on to N. Wow.
I didn't know whether people were going to get this fish either.
Well, let's see. Let us know what you think of this fish in the comments. Let's see who gets it and who doesn't. This is a nice little 4-step. Yeah. Not a lot really to. Obviously, the Benny on this one looks more finished than the previous one. Not as much sashi, but I'm looking at like you can almost see the fukurin on this already on the Shiroji.
It's it's got a lot for a young fish. It has some mature attributes to it. The eyes are quite prominent as well on the head. That is just the style of this fish, the way the eyes are placed on the head. So sometimes they're a little bit more receded or a little bit more. It's just the way this one falls. Huge head by Steve there. Yeah, another easy to read fish. And again, that third Dan wraps around the fish as well. So you've got that nice balance of pigment, red and white, good contrast. I've lost the size there of that fish, but yeah.
22, I think.
22, so it's not, not the biggest, not the smallest. I guess the distance from the eyes to the tip of the head is probably the only comment in terms of it's a little bit short, but still got quite a wide mouth. Still got attributes. Certainly not stopped it from keeping up or exceeding growth rates from its siblings. That's that at sort of like 18, 19 cm. So yeah, all in all, yeah, an easy to read fish. And I think for me, that's why when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I can sort of see where that one's going.
So,
Martin, good friend of mine. Marks, how you doing, mate? Had many conversations about koi over the years. Hope all is well with you, mate.
yeah, there's quite a few people watching tonight. It's been a good stream. It's been a long one, but people still sticking with us, so that's nice to see. And I think we've got a really special fish in for the last one as well, haven't we? So it's worth sticking around for.
Oh yeah.
This is
It's mad, isn't it? Like we get some really kind messages from everyone. Then just saying that they enjoy what we're doing. It's nuts that we can get sort of viewing figures that we do just through an auction sort of thing. People will just say they enjoy listening to people talking about koi. I like to think in a pretty genuine fashion. So yeah. Sam got a comment there. No, I don't know whether you heard me a minute ago, Sam. I did mention the eyes, just the way they're sat on the side of the head. They do protrude a little bit more. I think because they're a different colour. You see, you've got a red head. You do get that illusion a little bit that they are a bit more prominent. But yeah, nothing to be concerned about there.
right. Everyone behave now because Ricky's in the house. So
Oh yeah, I love Man United. I hope they're going to win the FA Cup final.
everything me and Steve said earlier didn't happen. So
Call me Steve again.
oh, so me and Chris, we didn't say anything. So
Where are we at, mate? 160.
yeah, 160 at the minute, which is a bargain for this fish.
Again, I keep saying it, trying to picture myself sort of walking into a shop and seeing that on a little certificate. Wow.
Oh, sorry, we're both clicking it.
That is unbelievable. Talk about kicking fire when you're down.
Oh dear.
It's ramping up a little bit here.
Yeah, so we got Dave Brown in at 170 and then quickly followed by Ant Allen in at 180.
Stick a few minutes on this one, buddy.
Yeah.
I've got a little date with the Colonel later, so yeah, don't want to be too late. Steve is one of our colleagues.
I don't know what.
Who looks nothing like me, by the way.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think it's just because this stream's been going on for over 2 hours. My head is fried.
Yeah, I had concerns about you yesterday, mate, that your brain might have melted. So we're currently sat at 180 with Ant Allen. Let's get that video playing again, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice, clean fish, mate. Shiroji is again sort of like just that contrasting pigment, even at a very young age. It's just a nice touch, mate, isn't it? It's
it is.
Again, you can sort of always find pretty patterns, Kohaku, but sort of having that pigment and genetic sort of quality moving forward. That's why the Dainichi sort of brand, if you will, is so sought after. I mean, yeah, okay, they do pretty much sponsor the All Japan Koi Show. I mean, they in every size category, they've got exceptional examples across the board. In every boo size, they are pretty much there. Kohaku Showa, and obviously with their new lineages as well, some of their more oddball Kawari bits and pieces. So currently got 1 minute and 10 left. We're currently sat with Dave Brown at 190. Any advances on 190?
I think this one this one's more finished than the other fish that we've had on tonight in terms of like Benny, edging. We got a bit in.
You with us, mate?
Sorry, my my headphone dropping off, and I don't know why it's doing that.
Sorry, mate. I'll carry you through the rest of it. 30 seconds left, guys. Currently with Rob at 195. So we're looking for bid increments of a fiver here. So if anyone's got £200 for us, please let us know. 15 seconds left on this. And in with 200, determined tonight. And fair play. 10 seconds left. Again, we've got to call what's on the screen when the timer goes off. 5 seconds left. 3 seconds left.
Well done, Ant.
And yeah, fair play, buddy.
He's missed out on a few tonight, so I'm glad he's got another one there.
Yeah, nice little fish, mate. That is.
So we're on to our final fish of the night. So what have you got in store for us? Wow. Yeah, that's probably also joint biggest of the night as well. With the length of the head. Jesus Christ.
Skin as well, mate. Skin is ace on this fish. Really is. Again, you see a little bit of a raggedy pec fin, but honestly, I don't even register for me. Maybe I'm a bit hardened to it because that's the sort of thing on Tosai. It'll be back within, a matter of weeks in the right environment. So, yeah, it's smashing little fish. Easy one to read again, especially when that white window opens up between the first and the second Dan. And then you got that combination of different style kiwa as well. It's just a nice technical fish, in my opinion. Skin is very good on it. Good length to the fish, good body line, and all attributes that I like to see in a young fish, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, I love how the head pattern like flows onto the body and kind of like a very straight. It doesn't usually tend to see like these patterns. They kind of come up and then they kind of go out, whereas this one kind of goes straight up the body, and it's nice. And that keyword around the edging, that scalloped effect that it has. Nice fish. Let's play the video. Yeah, you can see why we've left this one till last.
I often say as well, like I do that consistency in the Benny as well, mate.
Yeah.
Across the board, it has to be said, mate. It's not just like a one. This isn't just like a one-off from this farm.
No.
The levels and consistency of the fish that we're raising is nuts.
Yeah.
It's not as if we're feeding a few grams a day. We're pushing these fish hard. You know what I mean? Try and maximise and achieve. This is like I said to you. This is our crop. You know what I mean? So we need to make sure we yield as much as we can and do it justice. So it's not as if we're holding back with these fish when we're trying to grow them. So to withstand that sort of rapid growth and acceleration in body mass and withstand that and retain that level of quality in the Benny plate is just nuts. So yeah, again, I can see I could use my classic shape.
Yeah.
You could, but it's very evident with this fish. You're going to get a lot more white grounds coming into play.
I don't think it's going to really matter on that first Dan. That that Chris Wall picture effect, but but with the second Dan, it's going to play a big part, isn't it?
It is, mate. Yeah.
There you go. From the man himself.
There you go. What a way to describe this one. The pattern's just a benefit, mate, isn't it?
Yeah. I think when you've got the other qualities, it depends on what you class as the standout feature, isn't it? And your personal opinion. People will say that, and people might, prefer the pattern of the Maritan we had earlier. But I think for me, I love a Maritan, but I prefer this fish because of the other features that it's got, like the length of the head and also the width of it. I think that head's going to fill out in age, I would imagine.
I think it's the type of fish that's going to be suited well to a bigger body.
Yeah.
And when you see the finished article, and when you see the bigger fish, when you see the bigger Kohaku at the farm, Joe, you've seen the sort of Dainichi characteristics. So sort of envisage that sort of body style with this nice skin attribute and this proper deep benny plate. Yeah, for me, it's literally. I was just about to say that. Yeah, ticks all the boxes, mate.
There you go. You
It's,
two just read the same hymn sheet. That's what you two do.
I'm not sure Ricky will be happy with that, but yeah. But yeah, I think even going through the sizes as well, I think you could, once that sort of pec fin is rounded off, probably drop that into a koi show in the next sort of 6 months, and then in
Yeah.
the future, such is the standard of the skin at the moment. So not often that you can say that you can put a fish through the gears. Oh my god! Honestly, I don't know how this guy gets into his car. His head is that big.
Honestly,
Unbelievable.
best of luck in the championship, Joe. Thanks a lot, Brian.
Ouch.
There's a nice comment there. Quality T-shirt, Joe. Like that.
Oh yeah.
See you at the weekend, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just take a couple of minutes on this one, buddy.
Yeah. 370 at the minute with 370. There you go. Look, people are even quoting you now, Chris.
It's true. I have.
And I think Ricky needs to confirm if he drives a convertible so he can get his head in.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Annoyingly, I will
The
give
banter
it.
tonight has
It's
been
been
off the
fire,
scale.
mate.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. Annoyingly, I do have to give it to Rick. He does raise a bloody good fish.
I wondered what you were going to say then, but
Yeah, no, it's a family show, mate. So we've got a minute left, guys. So it looks like Terry's out on his own at the moment with 370. So if anyone wants to challenge that, we're looking for 375 to keep this one alive, or something a bit higher. Just for all you snipers out there, we've got 50 seconds left on this one, the last lot of the evening. Yeah, one of the reasons why I left it for the last one. I can see what's going to happen with this fish. I've got a clear picture.
He's got a clear picture of this fish.
Yeah. Dave Gardner in 390.
Oh,
We've got 30 seconds left, guys. So a few of you in for this one. Please don't leave it to the last seconds because of, we will be calling what's on the screen. So we've got 15 seconds left, guys. 15 seconds left. Marcus, whoa, there's 3 or 4 of you in for this one. 15 seconds left, guys. 380. Terry in at 410. 10 seconds left currently with Terry at 410. Any advances on 410? 5 seconds left.
Dave Gardner back in. Well done, Dave. What a snipe. Well, he was in beforehand as well. This time he had time to reply. And I think that's his second fish of the evening as well. Well done, David.
Yeah. Cracking little fish. I know we went a bit Kohaku crazy tonight, and for people that aren't into Kohaku, it might not be of interest. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you contact us at what's my email address, Joe?
Chris at koi-wholesale.co.uk.
That's the one. Yeah. Make sure if you've won anything tonight, you email me across your details, and we'll put you in touch with the dealers of your choice. We've got something a bit special next week as well. Oh, there you go. Yeah, beat me to it again.
Well, Chris wants to do 25 pieces next week. I'm not sure about that one, given that we've been on 2.5 hours tonight.
Yeah, I think we will be going a long weekend. Sakai special next week. So yeah, we'll probably try and get those lots out online within the next day or two. But quite a unique opportunity, I would say. The next auction, mate. Small, Sakai, high quality fish that, yeah, any other day of the week, we'll be sticking some weight on them.
Yeah, some really nice pieces, and some Tancho Sankey as well. I know was really popular. Tancho Sankey, a couple of auctions back that we did. So there's a couple of pieces of that as well that are included. So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting one. I'm not going to miss it next Tuesday. And obviously, I think there's a few tickets left for Sunday for the Secret Sankey event Part 2 at Newark Showground. Honestly, guys, I can't recommend it enough for just a educational koi piece. And if you fancy, to start the season off, there'll be fish available there on the day to buy, and just generally, it'd be great to meet you guys and put names to some of the faces I'm reading in this chat. So I feel like I know you all already because I know what fish you've bought off us. But yeah, I think it'd be great for you to come up and say hello and meet you all. So yeah, see you this Sunday.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that's about
it. I saw. I just reading a comment in the thing there. Yeah, awesome. Cheers for tonight, mate. Co-piloting as always.
Yeah, well, we've started a new club tonight, the Joe Mitchell Dorsal Appreciation Society or something like that.
Yeah, wow. Good luck to you getting members for that, mate.
Well, there's a few people in this chat. We've been going dorsal crazy tonight.
Oh, mate, the joke's going to be on me, isn't it? It's going to be mega popular.
Yeah. Marcus Upton, Dogs Welcome. I'm not sure on that one. I think they were last time on Leeds, but I don't want to confirm.
On Leeds, I don't see why not. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if they're on Leeds, I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
All right, guys. Amazing. Thanks for your patience, and we'll see you on the next one. Ricky's got question time live tomorrow, I believe, at 7 o'clock.
6 o'clock he's doing a question time live Koi Wholesale at 6 o'clock, and then followed up by a double header with me, Crafty, and Lee on Koi Talk Live. So double header for you guys tomorrow. Another 2 hours if you want it.
Power play. Yeah. All right, guys.
All right. See you later.
Much love. See you later.
Bye-bye. Bye.